of the Forks Over Knives Challenge. So I am making a recipe today that is called White Bean Caldo Verde. It's right there. I looked up what caldo means. It just means broth, but I don't know. Seems like a strange name for this. But anyway, it says it's a Portuguese soup that's traditionally made with potatoes, onions, and kale. But we're adding beans to it, it says, because that will help make it very filling and a wonderful meal. So that's going to happen too. So this is really, really very few ingredients. This is typically one of those kinds of soups I would recommend making when you just have, you've got potatoes, you've got kale, and you've got onions, and ta-da, you just want to put something together. It's very, very, very simplistic, very easy to put together. So it calls for 1 yellow onion chopped. I actually have half of a purple onion still in the refrigerator, so I'm going to use that. I don't see that being a big deal. And 2 large russet potatoes chopped. So I've got those 2 things done. And basically what you do is you cook your onions in a saucepan for a little bit. It says saute over medium heat for 10 minutes and just add water if you need to make it so that they don't burn. And then add garlic, cook for another minute, and add the rest of your ingredients, which the rest of your ingredients are, well, garlic. Let's talk about that first. It calls for 6 cloves of garlic, which is a lot of garlic. But I'm only gonna add like 2 cloves of garlic because instead of using, it calls for 4 cups of vegetable stock. Instead of using like the Better Than Bouillon no chicken base, I'm going to use this Better Than Bouillon roasted garlic. This stuff is super, super flavorful. So I'm going to, I mean, this is really, really good. I really like this. If you guys can find this, I would totally recommend it. It does have, so the only one that doesn't have oil in it at all that I know of is the vegetable broth, and it doesn't have any oil. This one does have a small amount of oil in it, but it is, I mean, it's got to be such a negligible amount that I'm going to use it anyway. So it does have some oil in it though. So if you are absolutely 0, 0, 0 oil ever, never, ever, don't look for this. You'll be disappointed. I'm sorry. But the main ingredient is roasted garlic, so that's always a good thing. But it's always funny to me when it's called something in particular in the recipe, and then the main ingredient is water, or the main ingredient is something like total sugar or something, and you're like, yeah, that's supposed to not be that. But anyways, so I'm going to use that for my broth. So 4 cups of broth, and then at that point you add your vegetable stock, potatoes, kale, and your beans, which it says to use cannellini beans. I am using a can of Great Northern beans. I haven't rinsed these yet. I drained them, but I haven't rinsed them yet. I need to do that still. Cook covered for 25 minutes. Does it say at what heat? It doesn't. So I just would continue it over medium heat, I suppose. And then it says to season the soup with salt and pepper and cook uncovered for another 5 minutes. I'm not going to put any salt in it, obviously. The bouillon has plenty of it in there. And I am going to probably just sprinkle a little bit of black pepper across the top. So half an hour for food is pretty darn good. That's not too big of a deal. I'm going to go and get stuff put together. The kale that I have, the reason I'm making this recipe now is because I've got a really, really big bag of kale still. So I'm going to be using this. Unfortunately with kale, you end up throwing a bunch of it away when you buy it like this rather than, well, you throw a bunch away when you buy it in its original form too. Just because they have the stalks and stuff in the bags, but that's okay. All right. I'm gonna go get started on making some soup, and I will be back with you guys to try this and take a look at it in just a little bit. All right guys, so this soup looks beautiful. It smells wonderful. This is so pretty. My bowl's kind of hot. Isn't that pretty looking? I really like it with the purple onions. Ooh, the oven is ready. Can you see it over here? That, I'll tell you about that in just a second. Okay, so that is my soup. I'm pretty sure that it's going to taste wonderful, but I'll give it a quick taste. It's very hot. I just got it off from boiling on the stove. I have not put black pepper in it. I totally forgot about that. It's okay. That's good. That's very, very good. I didn't put as much, so if you were making 4 cups, you would use a tablespoon and a teaspoon of the bouillon, but because it's so salty, I only put 2 teaspoons in, which is half of what it calls for, but it's perfectly good for me. I don't need any more salt than that. And in fact, it's very, very, very tasty. So if you are okay with having a teeny tiny little bit of oil in something, which, okay, if you're not, that's fine. That's totally fine. This is really, really good. I really like that roasted garlic flavor. It's very delicious. Anyway, that is a recipe that I saw that I totally just made it myself. What I saw was French fries with loads of cheese on them I had eggs, mixed up eggs on it and loads of cheese on it and then baked, and then you kind of cut it like it was a pizza. You totally can't do that. Well, I wouldn't do that anyway because of the dairy, but I can't do that with my boys anyway. They can't have that kind of stuff. So what I did was I made French fries, so that's what's in there. And then on top of that is Caldo, which is it's called black salt, but it's pink. Anyways, it's the one that's really high in sulfur content, so it tastes like, makes your chickpea flour taste like eggs. So chickpea flour and Caldo and some parsley and a little bit of the liquid aminos, some garlic. What else did I put in there? A little bit of nooch for cheese, obviously. If it's cheesy, you gotta have cheese. So anyways, I'm going to stick that in the oven. I really need to leave here pretty soon. It's almost 5, but my kids will be up at about 6:15ish for school, and I'm hoping that this will be cooked at that point. I don't know. I'm not gonna be here. That's my goal. I'm hoping that it will be cooked. And it doesn't overflow the edges, but that's why it's on a pan in case it does, so that my husband has less to have to try to clean up, because cleaning the oven is no fun. So anyways, I'm gonna go, and I will talk to you guys again tonight for some exercise. Well, hello everybody. So I am home from work, and there's 3 things that I need to tell you. 1, I stopped at the store this morning to get my tech a salad like I always do, and they had kiwis on clearance. These are the yellow kiwis that we really like for $1.49. And so they had a bunch of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, $1.49, because normally yellow kiwis are kind of expensive. So I got 5 packages of them because I was super excited about that. And then I went up front and I paid for them, and I was looking at my receipt going, there's something very wrong here, because it was a lot less than I expected it to be. Apparently at Kroger, the yellow kiwis were on sale, and they're on clearance, and they're on their buy 5, get $5 off. So I bought 5 packages of kiwis for $2.45. Isn't that awesome? So I went and put stuff in my truck, and I was like, yeah. So I went back in and I got 10 more. So I have a lot of kiwis. I'm going to be eating kiwis like a lot for the next little bit. None of them are ripe yet, as far as I could feel from just poking them in the containers. They're soft-ish, but not soft yet. Anyways, so I have a whole bunch of kiwis. I'm so excited. So that's number 1. Number 2, I was so stinking hungry. They had very, very ripe bananas as well. So I've got a 5-pack of bananas. They're not super big bananas, but medium-sized bananas. So stinking hungry on my drive home that I ate 2 of the bananas because I was starving. And for those of you that have been watching me for quite some time, I don't like bananas. You guys know this. I'm not a fan, and I'm still not a fan. But they worked. I was able to drive the rest of the way home without thinking like I was going to pass out from being so hungry, which is ridiculous because I had 2 bowls of soup. I don't know what my problem was, but anyways, whatever. So I didn't eat all of the soup, by the way. It made like 3 bowls worth, so I took 2 and left 1 for my husband. But anyways. Then the third thing is that I forgot my arm brace was on the counter, and I forgot to take it with me. I forgot to put it on myself this morning, then I forgot to take it with me when I left to go to work. So my arm hurts a lot. So yeah, I'm not exercising tonight. Actually, that's not true. Maybe I will do like the sit-ups, and okay, I'll do any of the exercises that don't require me doing like tricep dip type stuff, that don't require my arm. So I will do some exercise. I'm just not going to do 100% of the exercise. There we go. That's what I'm going to do. I will compromise. The rest of my body can work just fine. Anyway, Anthony is making onions, peppers, corn. It's the roasted corn from Trader Joe's. Love that corn. What did I say? Pepper. There's black beans. Anyway, he's going to make this dish up. He's cooking it right now. So I'm going to eat again because I'm still hungry. I don't know what in the world is up with today, but I am still hungry. So I'm going to have some of that. Not anything too big of a deal. I'm not going to put any seasoning on it or anything. He's not going to when he's cooking it. I'm going to put a little bit of taco sauce and a little bit of guacamole. And that's what I'm going to eat.
He would put it on there, but he wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I know. He said he would put spices on it and stuff, but then I wouldn't want to eat it. It's not true. I would eat it. I just wouldn't like it as well.
That's what I said. You wouldn't like it. I didn't say you wouldn't eat
it. True. This is true. All right, guys. So that's it for me for today. I don't have anything else to tell you. I am going to exercise. I forgot that I can do things that are exercising without using my arm, like totally. So I'm going to do whatever in the Grim Reaper I can do that does not involve putting weight on my arm, which I think is probably at least half of those exercises. So yeah, we're good. Cool. I'm going to eat, going to exercise, going to bed. That's the order of events because I've been up since 1:32 or 1:34 this morning. So there you go. All right, guys. I will talk to you again tomorrow.